Hi, welcome back to Headers and White Letters. Today I'm doing a video I didn't plan on doing at all. My wife's got a 2016 Jeep Rubicon with the 3.6 liter and the oil filter's leaking, so she has a warranty on this, so I don't usually work on it. We took it down there, they changed the oil a couple weeks ago, it started leaking, now it's not their problem. So we got a quote for $2,000 to replace it, which is crazy. I could build an LS and put it cheaper than that. So we're gonna tackle it today. Like I said, I don't work on too many newer stuff because it shouldn't take this long to change out an oil filter adapter. But if you have one, I guess you'll get to see how it's done. So let's bring you in and get started. Let's get the hood up. Only thing good about the Jeep is it leans up against the windshield, so it gets you lots of light. Once you figure out how to open this little thing. Got this little pad up here because I guess it's supposed to just rest against there, but we're not doing that. So take off the cover. Okay. Like I said, she's got extended warranty on this that came with it when she bought it used, which is great because I don't have to work on it. But the people that did the oil change is another Jeep dealership, which I won't mention, but we won't be going there again. We're going to go to another one because she's still covered under warranty because they argued all day yesterday, and about 6 o'clock last night I decided we had to fix this so she can get back to work the rest of the week. So we're going to go ahead and do this today and see how it goes. It doesn't look too hard. Of course, you got to take off 30 things to get it going, so let's get you guys in here. Lower it down. Switch it. Okay. All right, let's get the air cleaner, airbag off. So this is 8, and there's two 10s holding on. Pull this hose out of these little clips. Alright, let's get this out. There's a little connector here on the bottom. Squeeze and pull. Come on. Okay, get that off. So there's a little, let me get a little hook here. So I've been working on the K10 trying to get it back together. So you guys will see that next week since this got pushed in front of it because it had to be done. So no biggie. So there's a little red locking tabs on here. Holds everything together. Not everything, but on a lot of the stuff. There's little tabs. Get our little pry tool out to disconnect these little Christmas trees. There's one on top, the intake for, I think that's the map sensor. This is a little stuff's very brittle. So, okay, one there, one right behind it. Right next to there's 2 bolts in the side here and 2 bolts in the rear. And there's one in the front here. The little plastic stuff that goes around it's very brittle, so try not to drop it in anything. Come on, you know that just squeezes. Just that locks all the way out. Looks like it. It's a little clip down there. Let me get a little other light so I can see what's going on. Okay. Right on my toolbox where I left it. Yeah, that's the only place to squeeze. So if this happens to you, it's we noticed, because she parks up by the house, which is asphalt next to our house here, and I came in one day and the sun's shining just right and seeing it leak at the bottom. So we pulled it in the shop that night, let it sit overnight, came back out the next day, and there's 10 different spots of oil everywhere. So we knew that was our issue. So we dropped it off the dealership that changed the oil, and you know, of course, it wasn't their problem. Like I said, we won't be going there again. She bought a new one from there. That Cherokee she traded this in for, and I don't know, just didn't really have good luck with them. So if it wasn't under warranty, I'd just do it myself, but it's covered and it was free, so she took it. But the place she bought this is farther away. Somebody's been here before. These Christmas trees look not very Christmassy. Okay. I can't get this one off. Well, we may have to put the throttle body off so we can get it up out of the way. Of course. Yeah, I don't know. That one doesn't want to come off. So let's go see what size these are. I might just pull it off and set it to the side. Those are 8s. Should be a can't get to the bottom. Hopefully my heater's not too loud, but it's of course it just kicked off, so it's I think 35 degrees outside. It says it's 57 in here, so warm enough to work. It works great 90% of the time. When it gets real cold, it doesn't want to stay on. You have to kick it a few times till it gets warm enough. So when I build my next shop, I'm definitely gonna either do the hanging propane or in floor or all the above. Not sure, but I don't need to be t-shirt weather, but I definitely don't want to be coveralls. I said you don't have to take this off if you can get this connector off. Should be a little O-ring in that. We'll put that throttle body up here out of the way. Looks pretty clean. Okay, so we've got a couple little hoses here. Switch this around so I can see what you guys are seeing, hopefully. So this little vacuum hose up here. Just turn these and break the seal. Same thing with the one behind it here. Put my gloves on just so when I pull one of these off and smack my hand, it's not going to hurt as long. probably. Okay, these just clip in the side of the intake here. This one goes over to the air box. Spin this. Come on. Okay. There's one. Get out of the little clip there. Alright, get those out of there. Here in the back, these two little black clips holds this foam piece on. I've seen about 10 different ways to do this. Some people just take out the bolts and take the whole thing, but we'll push it back for now. Okay, now we've got some more stuff stuck to the side here. Okay, there's one. There's a hose up here. It's like a vacuum hose on the side. So we'll same thing. We'll just do a little wiggling. Let's see if we can pull it off. Like I said, she's not a heavy-duty off-roader, so it's probably stay the way it is. Let's get a wrench. And on the side here and the back, there's some 10 mil bolts. So we'll take the nuts off of the bolt. I think they help stabilize. These gloves are going to have to go. They stabilize the intake. And I've seen one video said take the studs out, another video said leave them loose, and I watched one guy just loosen the brackets so you could slide this up and out because it's a two-piece intake. So I think that's the way we're going to go, is just to loosen them and take a chance of not pulling out them studs out of a plastic intake. Okay. Here in the very front, this bracket right here has the two bolts in it that holds it, goes straight down to the head. So we're going to take those out. That way we can take this front bracket off, and then the side bracket we're going to loosen so we can pull this up out of the way. It is nice taking the bolts off and not breaking half of them. That K10 project, I think I spent 2 days just cutting bolts trying to get it all apart so we could start working on it, but we're getting there. We pulled the motor out of my truck yesterday. She's going to take some things apart and clean them because I just got it running because I'm not into showing, I guess, but I definitely wanted them to look, she wants to look a little nicer, so I get that. Can't even see it from over here. We got a new project brought this week. I did some trading on some tree work, so some of you seen on Instagram or whatever, we've got a IROC coming in, which is pretty cool. I like the old second gens and third gens. So that'll be kind of cool to, come on, get up there. That'll be cool to work on. We're not doing a ton on it. But then we have a couple other projects after that. Like I said, I traded some tree work, so come out ahead for me, because then I get to work on some cool stuff. There we go. So one is a stud. Well, no, I lied. One is a stud. I'm not sure of the other one. I don't know where to stick my light. There's nothing metal in there. Okay, on this other side we've got two bolts. These are 10s. They're hooked right on the intake, and there's an electrical connector there. We'll pull it apart. Okay, let me get my little magnet here. Hard to get these paws in some places. Okay. And there's two on the outside here, all the way to the outside. So these metal, I guess AC hoses, or maybe just coolant hoses. They're out here. They're nuts on this side. They bolt right to the valve cover. So that gives us a little play there. And then we're gonna unclip this from its little holder. Pull the lock, and then alright, so there's a red lock in the back. You have to pull the gray, just squeeze the sides and pull the gray apart. I seen one of the videos somebody was asking how to take that off, so there you go if you're here. Okay, get that connector up out of the way. So this is free now. Okay, I got the connectors offside and the brackets off. That rear bracket is loose. Got these hoses out, which this one looks like it could be clipped up out of the way some more, but we'll see. All right, let's take the 7 off for the intake. Those are 8 mils. These are captures so they don't come out. About 4 different kinds of screws here. Yeah, this one. This one. Number 3. Number 4 back here is what's behind this little foam piece. Come on. We have to get a ratchet on that one. So there's 4 on the outside, 3 down the middle. one's loose, that one's loose. It says 7 and 9 newton meters on there. Guess that's what they're supposed to be torqued. Okay, let's see if we can get this side popped up here. Of course, this is in the way. One of the brackets I seen said you go through the wheel well and take off that whole bracket out of the way. I didn't want to have to, but it's in the way. So let's see. Okay, I got the tire off, set it on there, set it on a jack stand. Get down here. So they are, let's see. See if I can get a good view. Okay, right there. There's one, and there's one. 10 millimeter wrench. They're lock nuts and they're long-winded, but if you can get those right off, you can pull that whole bracket off. Okay, so I just showed you that down there. So now we can get this this bracket all the way off. There's 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6 little push in to get the inner fenders out. One of the videos I watched, the guy had a lift and he didn't take anything apart. But this is, like I said, stock. There's 6 little connectors, 1 bolt, pull that whole inner fender out of the way. On the rear, you have to pry them off the little studs. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. That's how I did it. So now we can try. We've got another. Yeah, looks like we got another one on here. Nope, it's just a hard line. Hard back line. Shoosh. Okay. There's your bracket. Like I said, here's the 2 nuts. There's the 2 bolts that go in the intake. These are the 2 that I showed you from down below. Whew. Good times. Okay, let's get these popped out of the little holders. There we go. We'll throw this back together to make sure we don't have any issues in there getting anything out. Okay. Now we have to get up. To get up and make sure all the bolts are loose. You gotta tilt it. We got it out. Let's get this foam out of there. There's something on the back of that. No, there's one over here. That big electrical connector. It's right there. Alright, there's the top of the plenum. Not terrible. Okay, we've got this little deal. Just more foam. I'm actually going to set it on this one so we make sure we can't put it back on without it, because I watched the guy and what he said, he got it all together and then found it off to the side, so we don't want that. So I've seen a few videos where they take the fuel rails off. It's few that they don't. I'm going to try not to. So now you have to get in here with your little hook tool and unhook the injectors. So we'll leave the fuel rail hooked. There's a little red lock on the injectors. Push down and squeeze. Oh man, it's all brittle. we might actually pull the injector or the coil. You don't have to, but if we could get all this wiring up out of the way, that would be much easier. Works perfect. I think this is called an air tip or something from Milwaukee. Comes with like 4 different connectors and one tube that goes to the vacuum, and then these little ports that just quarter turn lock on. Works pretty handy. Sometimes you just need a little end where you can get in there. So I had her stop and get that on the way home. I had planned on using it to pull the oil and stuff out the bottom. So let's get these clear. All right, these are a Torx, or they're also an 8. So we're gonna do the 8. And there is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 8. If you've watched the video before this on the Jeep, we did the backup camera, the front license plate holder. She didn't have one. And then we did LEDs and the fog lights and the headlights. So like I said, we just live a little ways out in the country. So definitely she likes it. She likes the backup camera. And she likes the LED lights. Okay. I think there's a connector in the back. We are going to pull it up and see if we can always get to it once it's up out of the way. Okay. Yep. Whew, that thing's filthy under there. Who would have thought? They're free. Let's get this off. Spin it, get it out of the way. We'll put new O-rings and everything in there. Let's get you guys. Okay. There's a little better view now. So we've got the lower intake out. So now we're going to try and vacuum some more. We're going to put some rags down in there. We'll try and clean that up real good. And then all we've got is the other, I think there's 5 bolts. There's 2 plugs and a coolant line that comes up to here. So some people take it off here. Some people take it off there. I think I'm just going to try and crimp it with some crimpers and then call it good. Okay. Alright, you guys can see right there, this looks like a Torx, but inverted basically. Okay, let's two, 3, 4, 5. And that is it. Set that over here to drain. Okay. Look down in there. So you can see all the oil and everything down there, and then it runs down the transmission. So we are going to try and soak up what we can, and then suck out the rest and clean it all real good with the Scotch-Brite or something to clean the gaskets off. That worked good. So I got this thing from Medivac, model MVA 6851 fluid extractor. Works great. Like I said, I use it to fill rear ends. It comes with a little cap. You can, you know, if you work on the same stuff, but if you can use it for this, it's well worth it. I'm guessing 20 or 25 bucks. We got all that out of there, coolant, oil, and that's a lot of paper towels. Way better. All right, welcome back. Went in and cleaned up all the intake and everything. Got all this laid out. I bought this Dorman part. It's 926959. I got it from O'Reilly's. I think it was 200 and something with my discount, close to 300 bucks. So this aluminum, supposedly it's an upgrade. Who knows? So I had to take the old sensors out. This was a 27 millimeter deep socket. This one was a 19. You can buy new ones. I've seen people do both, but we're at the time so where we're not going to be able to get new stuff. So, okay. So we got all. It comes with all the intake gaskets. Comes with the gaskets to go down below. The upper and lower intake. Guessing this is for the cap, maybe. It's already got one on it. Not sure. Then it's got these two little figure 8 ones that go in here for, I guess it's the cooler itself. You got 2 of those. So we'll set those down here. And then this thing's got pins on the front and the back. So we can only go on one way. And then that's going to take these little Torx, so it looks just like the old one. These are, I don't know what size those are. We will find out. We'll get all those started. I said this kit came with new bolts. Came with, make sure it's working. Came with bolts for this cooler. Came with the new filter. It came with the new top. So hopefully this doesn't happen again, because I definitely don't want to mess with this again. Okay, let's see if we can get a Torx out of here for that. That vacuum setup worked awesome. We got all that stuff out of there. So I would definitely get one of them or something like it. Definitely made the job much easier. Okay, so the bolts on this one are a 30. I'm sure there's probably a torque spec on this, or an order. I think the torque spec's in this paperwork over here. We'll see if we can find that. Just little O-rings, so I'm guessing it's not too awful much. Okay, let's do some. I kind of prefer the clickety wrenches, but I needed one that was mid-range. I've got a Blue Point one I've had for a while. It clicks, but it doesn't go down very low. I think it starts at 50 or 75 or something like that. So I picked this one up. I actually needed it for a job, and only I could find short notice. What's it say next? Coat both sensors and thread the sealant. So the only stuff I have, I'm not sure it'll mess with sensors, so I went ahead and I'm going to use tape. Make sure you thread it the right way so it doesn't unthread as you're threading it in. I'm guessing the one that goes down in, one of them goes down in and everything else just sits on the top. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another O-ring. So we've got a big one back here, fit on that, and then looks like 2 of the same or 3 of the same. Then we've got the little O-ring. See if I can find some oil that came out of the old one. Okay. So we've cleaned up everything really good. Stay. I'm going to lay these over here because there's nothing flat over here. So we got to put this hose back on and the 2 plugs. So the hose goes on down here. The other. All right, right in the front, there's a ring that's got to go down in. All right, let's put the lock on there before I forget. All right, let's get some those bolts. There's one. There's one. There's one. One back there. And one in the very back. Straighten this out. There it goes. Okay. Torque, torque, torque. Got the little tiny piece. Sure don't want that in there. Okay. Now we have to flip this over because this is the top. Knock the stuff off over here. So let's get a little pick. Get my washing coat and lay on the ground and try and get it cleaned up. Okay. Let's get this back. Flip back over. So these are captured, so gotta turn it this way. start everything by hand. I think it's like 10 foot-pounds or 100 inch-pounds, or I don't know, something. Got all that on, everything plugged in. Got to take the upper gaskets out, replace those. There's one on the back that I think you can put in after. There's one that sits here. I think it's supposed to help the heat not come up to the intake, because the intake kind of comes over. Who knows? That's what they say anyway. Alright, let's put that. I got the okay. All right. I'm gonna wait on that one. I think I can get it out after, I hope. A little bit of oil on the bottom of the intake we'll wipe off. There we go. Just got to keep moving it around until they see these are captured, but these outside ones came off. All right, let's get a ratchet and snug these by hand. Okay, we're gonna call that done. Okay, I believe I can get to this after, because I think you can change that. I still need to look up the torque. Yep. I watched one video where he didn't take this off, and I was like, oh, that looks way better, and then I couldn't get anything to move, so maybe his has been taken apart before, so there's a little more give. Let's give you guys in the front here, maybe we can. It's not a great view. It's hard working in these, and it's hard showing it, and I can't. I'm still learning, obviously, so I'll try and zoom in and post-production, but these, well, I shouldn't put that in there yet. Okay, there's one bolt there that goes the intake. We're gonna need that nut. let's get my magnet so I can find that nut I just dropped. I was just thinking to myself, I should take this out of my hand before I drop it in here. So close. How do I keep losing the same magnet I've used 3 times? Okay, let's see if we can get this little foam piece back there before we get too carried away. I might take these bolts out on the top, I'm not sure. There we go. Perfect. Just slide it right down the middle. If you forget to put it in there or don't know when it goes in, let me get them 2 little plastic holders. So we've got those. Just hold this. I don't know, no clue what this does. Maybe for noise. I'm not actually sure. Somebody somewhere thought it'd be a good idea. Okay, so we've got the nuts on the rear right here. So on the side of that bracket, like I said, if you loosen that up and get to pull out, I think that'd be the way to go. With all the hoses and wires down here though, I can't get my hand past anything else, so let go. Okay. Alright, this is for the air. There's a little clip that goes on the front here. And this goes up into the side of the bracket we took off. This goes underneath here. And there should be a hose on the side. I took a couple of these loose on the side back here just to try and get that bracket loose, but I didn't have any luck. I think there's one more. Yep, one more right here. That goes on that bracket as well on the back side. Like I said, it's like somebody's been in here before. These Christmas trees are pretty messed up. All the injectors are in, all coils and stuff are done on this side. So we have the 2 bolts from underneath, the inner fender well, and the tire. Then we got to put this on up here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and get it out of the way. That's the last 2 screws I have. If they make I'm sure they do, make an aftermarket cooler or something we could get for her. Let's make sure you plug this back in. Snap, snap. This hose here. Okay. This hose here was there and there. 2 bolts and tighten down the, that's a 10. Tighten down the hose clamps. A couple more bolts and we'll be done. Alright, so the only thing I got left is to look up the torque for this, just to make sure, because it doesn't say on here anywhere that I can see. Yeah, you'd think with all that it would tell you. I'm going to look it up to make sure. We got a mess underneath from when I pulled that out. It overfilled everything, of course. So I think it's a 24. I don't know what it is normally. Maybe it's the same size. I'll check and see, because like I said, this has got a warranty on it, so I don't have to work on it. 24 fits the new one. And 24 fits the old one, so we're gonna go with that. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to be done. I'm just going to put them 2 bolts in, put the tire back on, the inner fender, all that stuff. Just push connectors, 1 bolt, real easy. Make sure you check the oil afterwards, because like I said, we noticed this was leaking the other day. We pulled it in, it was 2 quarts low, and the oil change has been not even a month ago. Probably 3 weeks ago. So she doesn't drive a long ways, but enough that it's leaking out. I don't know when the sensor kicks on. There should be a sensor to kick it on where it's got low fluid, but she said nothing came on yet. So get you guys over here. Let's see if I'm not looking at the ground. All right, so we're done with this one for now. We're going to get back on the K10. I've got a few more days off, so hoping to get it as a roller, get the motor transfer case. We were waiting on a couple parts. I lost a bag of bolts, and I found them when I found my vacuum cleaner. So now we got back together. I've bagged everything up separate, nice and clean, but it's been a whirlwind moving this thing around. I've had 2 other projects come in since then, because we've been, we only got 1 lift. So I want to thank you guys. Like, subscribe. I'm on the Instagram, what's the other one? TikTok, and I have a Facebook page, and then of course the YouTube channel. So I appreciate all the likes and the comments and all the views. So we'll see if we can put out some more things that are funner to watch. Like I said, I'm learning. I'm trying to get the lighting better, trying to get the voice better. So we'll hopefully get better over time. So like I said, thanks again. You guys have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.